As for the American players at Leeds, Tyler Adams started this weekend. Weston McKennie came on in the second half for his debut. Brendan Aronson didn't play. He was battling appendicitis during the week, so he was listed among the subs, but it sounds like he wasn't really available. Tyler Adams has been great this season. I can't imagine there's a manager in the world that would walk in there and not want him on the team. The other two guys, Weston McKennie, it's a loan with an option to buy for 33 million euros. And Brendan Aronson, after a hot start, has really faded. I know he's a player that you can't just judge by goals and assists, but his numbers are pretty paltry for an attacking player. So those two guys, I think it does depend on who they bring in, what they do the next few months, whether they get relegated or not. I don't think their futures at that club are necessarily solidified.
Well, maybe ultimately when this all shakes out from a player perspective and these American players, maybe they end up falling up. Because if they ultimately do go down, I think that there will be a market for some of these players. And who knows, maybe they get into a better situation where they're not always facing the threat of relegation. Before we ultimately lead this, if you're by the way, pour one out for Chris Armas, who came in as Jesse's assistant a week ago, and now here's the situation. Or Weston McKennie, who flew in, and now he's going to have to deal with a whole new coach, which isn't the worst thing in the world. He's going to get paid, and he's still a good player. And whoever that new coach ultimately is, I think is going to see the quality that Weston can bring. But it's going to be now a dogfight to keep themselves out of relegation. And ultimately that will be the charge of whoever comes in. And if you don't think it's heading in the right direction, this is the time to do it.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops every week. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.